Welcome everyone in to the virtual Daytona International Speedway. It is week number 3 here on Tuesday Night Thunder. I am your host here tonight, Michael Triscaro, joined by Ron Morris Jr. himself as we get set to take on the high banks of Daytona here in the next-gen car for 70 laps of action. Ron Morris joins me here tonight. Ron, how you doing there, bud?
Hey man, doing good, man. Excited to see some racing under the lights at Daytona tonight. We got an update. I know there's some issues with the Cup car with Talladega, but apparently we don't have those issues with Daytona. So I'm expecting a good race tonight in these next gen cars.
Well, tonight we are going those 70 laps. We're going to have a stage break at lap number 25. If you see here right on the flyer, that's 40% fuel and 2 extra sets of tires. You see all the payouts there on your left-hand side, $210 to tonight's winner. So at that stage break, too, that's $30 to the stage winner, and that pays just over the entry fee for tonight. And then also you got that money going towards the championship fund. And as we build up to that championship, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a big one here this year as a lot of money goes towards that purse. So we're looking forward to this entire season and getting to that race. And here we are high above Daytona International Speedway. We're going to bring up some information for you guys right here. And we are 73-degree ambient temp here tonight. And it is clear skies, 9-mile-an-hour winds here for Tuesday Night Thunder under the lights here at Daytona, as qualifying is just coming to an end here. And we will take you guys right to your grid and go through the pole position results here tonight. Nathan Harper currently sitting on that pole, and we'll have to see if he's able to hold that spot. Some guys getting in here in the chat to start the night. What's up, Big Roos? Baker's mom as well. Danny Barnes, appreciate y'all joining in, getting anxious for this race to start. Matthew Baker, Jared Haynes, Jeff Burke, all going to carry an extra onboard camera with us tonight, so we'll definitely get some shots of those guys as you see right there that format one more time on your screen. As you see Stephen Miles just getting done with his qualifying lap right there. You see Wyatt Gray as well. So these guys all getting ready to grid here tonight. And Ron, let's go through those rules again. I know you had some changes. We've been going over the last couple of weeks, but always good to give our viewers, some more knowledge about some of the rule changes here in the new season of Ron Morris Racing.
Yeah, the biggest thing, trying to clean up the racing. So, we put some things in there where we're giving some penalties for causing wrecks or not even causing cautions. If they cause an incident, there's going to be warnings, and those warnings they're going to add up, and they may have to pay a fine. So, trying to hit it in their pocket, just trying to make them think about things when they do things. And another big one is if last lap, if they cause an incident, doesn't have to throw a caution, but if they cause an incident and they place in the money, half of their money could end up going back to the championship fund.
Well,
so
yeah,
just trying to clean it up,
Yeah, that's a great thing. I love to see how this is all going to pan out. A lot of us promoters also like to watch what happens, and if that does clean it up, try to mimic what we do in some of the other promotions to try to clean up that racing. So Ron Morris Jr. Racing here, always staying on top of the game and innovating ever since day one. Here is your starting grid here tonight. Nathan Harper will be on pole position with Kenny McCullough Jr. Great run for him. Here he will start second. Landon Veliky tonight for Nightmare starts third. His teammate Ethan Eckert starts fourth. Kyler Wynn, he will start in the 5th position. Malik Ray 6th. Jared Haynes will start 7th. Jeff Merck will start 8th. Wyatt Gray will start 9th. And rounding out your top 10 is Matt Lee.
Yeah, then we got Stephen Miles starting 11. Trevor Astronaut, this is his first race in the series. He's starting 12th. Baker, expect to see him qualify better than that, but 13th. Garrett Maines, 14th. Surprised to see him back there too. Falkenham, 15th. Devin Ray, 16th. Mike Davenport is 17th. Westmoreland is 18th. We got Nick Sipple in 19th and Mark Vondell in 20th. And I'm going to step away and go talk to these guys about some payouts and stuff.
Absolutely. There was your top 20. Michael Wingo tonight. He is going to start 21st position. Heath Job will start 22nd. Dylan Jones, 23rd. His teammate Daniel Eberhardt, 3rd, will start in 24th. None of these guys dropping the time here tonight. They're going to just start from the rear. John Ward will start 25th. Joshua McCullough, 26th. Christopher McCullough will start in 27th. And I do not believe there's any more in this race. We do have some drive. No, we are good. I believe it's going to be a 27 driver field here tonight. We'll update you if that changes as Kenny McCullough Jr. and Nathan Harper are rolling off here onto the racetrack as we get set for 70 laps of green flag racing here tonight, as the pace car is leading them around here, and we are anxious to get this thing started. And we are under the lights, always a great scene here, and nice to be back in the next-gen car to see how this runs. A lot of next-gen racing happened in the month of January across a lot of the promotions, gearing up for the big ones like the PGR 500. So we'll see. You know, it's been a little bit here since we've ran these next-gens, and these are one of my favorite cars. We'll see. I know there was an update and kind of changed things just a little bit, and just seems a little bit slower than it was. The run's not as quick and fast, but nonetheless a really good car that you see out here on the racetrack. And we are getting set to go green. I am joined tonight by Ron Morris Jr., the boss man himself.
Yeah, I'm back now. Got a couple guys gonna be starting at the pits, it looks like. But I'll clear their blacks, let them blast out. And trying to mute chat because it's loud.
Yeah, I am sure it is. Well, the pace car is about to pull down underneath the yellow and onto pit lane here tonight. Nathan Harper in the 4. Kenny McCullough Jr. in the 03 is going to lead them down here. And we are green here at Daytona. Caution out for the first time tonight on lap number 1. And good thing we have some technical difficulties here with the live timing and the video. So we're going to step aside really quick as we get that fixed here. And it's a good time. Good thing we had that caution here right off the rip. And we will get back here to Daytona here for Ron Morris Racing Tuesday Night Thunder in just a second. Bear with us. back here live at Daytona International Speedway, live on the PGR eSports Network. I appreciate you guys bearing with us here for some technical difficulties. Luckily, got a caution on the first lap, so back here and live with you all. Just having some camera issues there to start the race and some scoring issues, but got it all sorted out. We did have a caution while everyone was gone. I do not believe we'll be able to go back and show you the replay. We can try. I know Wyatt Gray was going to be the cause of that caution. He will get a warning. We're just going to stay live here and not worry about that replay tonight. It's going to be not able to be accessed, but nonetheless, right now, it is Kyler Wynn, Malik Ray in the front. So lap 3 of 70 in the books, and got word from race control. As we said, the caution on Wyatt Gray, he will have that warning heading into the rest of tonight's race. So pace car lights are still on. It looks like they're going to go off this time by, and we will go green when we get back around this 2.5-mile super speedway. I am still joined with Ron Morris Jr. He will be with me in the booth all night long as he is not doing duties on race control. So, Ron, walk us through what happened there on lap number 1.
Yeah, Wyatt was in the middle lane, and he just barely got up into the Merck's left rear. Looks like Matt Lee might have gotten the worst end of that deal because I saw he had a meatball. Not sure. These cars are pretty tough. Hopefully he can get his damage fixed and get back out there. But yeah, nothing too bad. But he got a warning on that. So if he gets another warning, yeah, that's gonna be an EOL. That's gonna be a fine for him. So he's got to stay clean the rest of the race.
And that he is gonna have to do here tonight. Right now, your top 5: Kyler Wynn, Malik Ray, Nick Sipple, Steven Miles, and Ethan Eckert. We'll get you guys some updates throughout the night on the points standings here through a couple races. And, this is a pretty long season too, Ron. I mean, this thing's going to go, deep into the summer here. And, it's a grind. You really have to stay up on these points. And wins are big here in RMR.
Yeah, we got 16 weeks. They do get one drop week. So we got a couple guys that have already missed a race. But they do get one drop week, and they get a win or in as long as they pay for 13 races. So, wins are big. Wins get you in. And, with 16 races and only 16 drivers getting in, you may have to be up there pretty high in points because, we may see, double-digit winners, 8, 9, 10 winners. So, it's only going to leave a few, a handful to be pointed in. So, wins are big, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, long season, which should help with the points fund. We have a big points fund there at the end for that top 16 or top 8 that'll get paid.
Well, we're going to try this one more time. Caution on lap number 1, but right now we are set to go back green here at Daytona.
Nick Sipple already up in the lead.
Yeah, Nick Sipple to the lead here at Daytona. We're going to keep it green finally here since the start of that race, and that is good here. The number 12, Ethan Eckert on top, getting a big push from his teammate, the 62 of Landon Velicki. Man, those two cars looking really nice under the bright lights here of Daytona. Kyler Wynn here in second, a great shove here to Nick Sipple. Kyler Wynn, one of the best drivers in the next-gen car, and you'll see him up front all night long as he can keep all 4 Goodyear tires on this racing surface. And, man, 2-car breakaway out front. Those guys are fast.
Yeah, we're going to probably see some of that tandem racing with these next-gens a little bit. 2 drivers can hook up and move out pretty good. But, yeah, Nick Sipple, hey, he's a big mover. He graded 19th, and he's already up to the lead. So, big move for Nick. I'm hearing chat that they're going to kind of get in line and ride for for the pit stop. So we'll see how that goes. We know these guys can't stay they can't stay cool for that long, patient for that long. So we'll see how that goes. But we got one Wyatt Gray's the last one left on the outside line. He's about to tuck in, and we'll probably see some single file riding for a little while. Won't call it racing, just riding.
Yeah, we brought the track map. You can see there's a second pack in this thing, and we got a car way off the pace as well. I believe that's going to be Brock Westmoreland and Devin Ray. So looks like those guys just kind of chilling out here in the back for now, as we are back up front with Nick Sipple leading Kyler Wynn, and they are in a train. And you know what? This is what I always call for. It's like, why don't we get in some of these trains in a ride here, especially in the beginning of races that are, 50, 60, 70 laps long. There's no rush to get to the front here. Got all night to do it. The last thing you need, especially in a no fast repair race, is getting caught up in a wreck early and not being able to finish the race. So right now, this is something I like to see. It might not be, the excitement for the viewers here right now. I mean, you'll get that later, but it's better to have, as many cars at start of the race on the lead lap as you can throughout the race. So excellent drive right now for all these drivers to kind of just ride around until, we get closer to that stage.
Well, we say that, but we got a few of those guys out there that just can't do that. I mean, look on the outside. Here comes Garrett Maines. And here comes Nathan Harper. There goes Malik to this outside. So a lot of these guys can't just ride single file. They got to get up there. So you would think they could, but not really. So there goes Ethan Eckert going to the lead now. Baker pushing him. A little bit of offset push, but they were able to hold on to it. So and we got a little bit of a third lane forming up there. So Wyatt Gray's up there on the high side with Davenport pushing him. So back to 2 lanes, but can't ride single file.
Yeah, Matthew Baker here in that awesome looking PGR SummerSlam paint. He's going to go towards the bottom and push Ethan Eckert here to the lead. Nathan Harper third in line there. You got a run here from the one of Garrett Maines coming on the top 10 of 70 in. That stage break will be at lap number 25, and I'll tell you what, the pace is fast and ferocious right now here on the backstretch. Baker's going to go up. Wow, Ethan's going to throw a block. They're nearly going to wreck Nathan Harper to the apron. Wow, sparks fly from his car there. Wow, I don't know what we just saw Ron there. That could have been a big one.
Nice save by Baker, but yeah, looked like a little bit of an offset push there, kind of got him a little bit sideways, but hey, good save, no harm, no foul. Probably just some tempers flaring, but it goes back to why they won't just ride single file for a while. But good save. These cars are not that bad to save, so you get a little sideways, you can usually straighten them out. So inside lane making a surge now. Outside lane's lost a lot of energy. Which now Harper's going back up. So, last week that high side was really strong. It looks like tonight. I don't know if that high side's going to be quite as strong as it was last week. We'll have to see as the night goes along.
Yeah, Daniel Falkingham moves to the third lane. He's going to push Malik Gray. You're watching from his cockpit view right now, and it's all the movement there of the one of Malik Gray. And these cars are dancing here on the racing surface. And you could just get a good, really good view here of that run. They're going to get off this top lane. Here's Malik Ray. He's got no one in front of him in this lane, but Garrett Maines is going to come up. Is he going to block it? He does. So Malik Ray is going to be pushing the one down the backstretch here. We'll go to Garrett Maines, and there he goes. Straight to the front. He goes side draft with Harper. He's looking for the 12 and the 5. A shove from, there goes, Ethan. I'll tell you what, Ethan came to race tonight. Wow, Garrett way offset left, and this is a great view of how offset he got there on Ethan Eckert as he made a late block there. Man, Ethan Eckert just wants to stay in the front of this race.
Yeah, Ethan missed last week, so he probably came to kind of make up for some lost ground. But track's cool. These cars ought to be handling really good, and with these cup cars, you can pretty much push all the way around the track, and that slam drafting where you can just run into somebody with a 5 to 7 mile an hour difference in speed and these cars.
Sorry, Ron, yeah. Here you see Jared Haynes in the 7 for the Jack Shack. He is in that Moza blue-yellow paint scheme here tonight in that Ford. He's looking stout here early, hanging around the top 15 on the bottom of the racetrack in case there's any trouble. He'll look to dive down and always carrying one of the great onboards. You'll see it, him and his rig strapped in, as always, in those seat belts. There is Jared Haynes. We're also getting Jeff Merck, some action Jeff Merck here tonight. You'll see him right there, and I'll tell you what, I believe he's got motion. You see his rig moving there. Jeff Merck, already intensity out of him. It's being scored in the 17th position right now out of Punta Gorda, Florida. We'll see if Jeff Merck can make a move here to the front. He's got some teammates here. He lost Matt Lee, though, so they are down a man early, but it looks like a little bit of damage there on the left side of the 60 as he drops back to the tail end of this main pack.
Yeah, Mert was in that first one. We got a couple cars making pit stops now, so they may be trying a little different strategy than everybody else. I'm not sure which two cars went there, but just had two cars go out out into the pits. Maybe Devin Ray and Brock or something. But now we got pretty much single file other than Harper there, and he should be finding his way in. There we go. So a little single file racing. No surprise. Malik Ray running up front. One of the best at super speedways, Coke Series winner at super speedway, and of course Kyler Wynn, multiple big wins. Garrett Maines, big wins, and then Ethan, a little young gun, Ethan Eckert. He's really good in these cars, so look for him to be up here all night.
Well, that was Kenny McCullough Jr. and Chris McCullough that came to pit road early, and we'll see if that strategy somehow pays off. It will if they get a caution flag here before all the leaders pit, so we'll see what happens. Remember, at lap 25, we will have a stage break here tonight. Out front, it's Malik Ray, Kyler Wynn in second, Garrett Maines third, Ethan Eckert in fourth, and D3, Daniel Eberhardt in fifth. It's a train of cars right now going all the way back to, I believe, the end of this pack would be Heath Job in the 18th position. There is Heath Job in the 760. So that is your main pack right now of 17, 18-ish drivers. Now 2x2 here up in the front. Garrett Maines to the point, getting a push from Matthew Baker. Daniel Falkingham, they're in the 39. The 18 as well of Wyatt Gray, who's at fault for the first caution of the night. So, yeah, these guys are it's going to get more intense as we get closer to that stage and that $30. And we always see some hard stage racing here in Tuesday Night Thunder. Man, a great paint scheme there from Wyatt Gray. He's really got a beautiful looking next-gen car here under lights at Daytona. 17 to 70 in. We're going to be nearly completing that lap. We'll start lap number 18 here shortly. Looks like all these guys right now going to stay on the racetrack. And we'll see. Oh, we got guys coming in. Green flag pit stops. It's Kyler Wynn is in.
With the pit stop, so.
Yeah, Kyler Wynn is in. Malik Ray, Ethan Eckert, Nick Sipple. We also have Heath Job, Stephen Miles, Michael Wingo are in. So, yeah, green flag stops. You're going to expect to see Garrett Maines, Matthew Baker, Falkingham in next time by.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably come in this lap. They're not going to stay out much longer. So, going to be a short little sprint to the end there. So, we'll have to see how this cycles out for Kenny and Chris making that early pit stop. But with these cars, you get two cars together, you can kind of hang. So, we'll just have to see if it was a good strategy for them or not.
That we will, and we're going to show you a cockpit of Matthew Baker coming here into pit road, getting to pit road speed. It's 60 miles an hour here at Daytona, while Daniel Falkingham there on his left is actually going to beat Baker and Garrett Maines into entry there as they're going to dive off into their pit stalls. This could be a great shot, and they're going to be invisible there for all our viewers, invisible on once they get into their boxes. Is one thing that iRacing does good, because if not, we'd have a lot of issues on pit road. Matthew Baker getting right side tires and fuel for some reason, losing a lot of time there on the pit stop. You can see all these other guys beating him out there, and he'll have to hustle here on the apron into turn 2.
Yeah, not sure if that was a strategy move there by Baker or a mistake. But yeah, that's going to cost him big time. But he'll stay on the lead laps as long as he's not worried about winning a stage. Maybe those tires might help him. We do see a little bit more importance in tires here at Daytona than we do at Talladega. So, maybe it's a strategy move. Might pay off for him. We'll just have to see.
Dylan Jones and Daniel Eberhardt III. They're going to be the last ones to pit. They are together, two of them on pit lane. Here is Garrett Maines. He is with Wyatt Gray and Daniel Falkingham. And right now, it looks like Ethan Eckert, Malik Ray, and Kyler Wynn chasing them down. So this is going to be your top 6 right now. It's going to be a little bit farther on back to, I believe, Landon Velicky and Mike Davenport. We're going to see how these guys blend in with D3 and Dylan Jones here when they come around here. This is in between turns number 1 and 2. And, yeah, it's going to be Garrett Maines going to probably go right by these two up front. But I'll tell you what, Dylan Jones, D3, great pit stops here. If they can blend in with Malik Ray and Kyler Wynn, they'll be fine here as we got 5 more laps to settle this stage.
Yeah, I don't think they were quite going to be able to tag on there. Just a little bit too much of a speed difference, and 2 cars coming out just not able to really keep up. So Garrett Maines is going to be our leader, and we'll see a little bit of racing coming up here in a minute because we got 4 laps to go for the stage. So we'll see if they race for that $30. But here comes Malik and that group making a charge on the outside.
Yeah, making a charge. They are here. As you see,
Back
here
down
comes
to the bottom.
Malik Ray at big speed.
Wow.
They're going to split 3 wide action here into turn number 3. Malik Ray up and around Garrett Maines. So is D3 Dylan Jones. We are 3 wide right now. This is intense racing. Here comes Ethan Eckert, Wyatt Gray on the bottom of the 18. Garrett Maines, they're going to hang out Kyler Wynn. Here comes Daniel Falkingham. Man, the race is on. We have some really good racing around right now. Malik Ray, now you're leader.
Another wreck there. Yeah, almost had another wreck there. Wyatt got pushed by Garrett and got him a little bit sideways, but everybody was able to save it. So, but yeah, what a move by Malik. He was on the high side, went down the low side, and right back up to the high side. So, and yeah, Kyler kind of got hung out by himself there in the middle in that sucker hole. Place you don't want to find yourself with these next-gen cars because you will go backwards.
That you will. Malik Ray, your leader. D3 is in second. Dylan Jones third. Ethan Eckert in fourth. And here comes Wyatt Gray and Kyler Wynn. A little bit farther back, it's Garrett Maines and Daniel Falkingham. So, yeah, I'll tell you what. 1 green flag stop, and it's really going to split up this field here tonight. So, I mean, you got to really be on your P's and Q's getting on and off pit road. You saw Baker earlier. We had that shot of his cockpit and, practically jinxed the guy, and he had some issues on pit lane. Right now being scored in the 12th position and has probably no shot to win this stage. 23 of 70. We're getting closer. D3 and Dylan Jones. Look for them to make a move.
Yeah, they separate a little bit, but when we come to the stage, we're going to rack them and stack them again. Let's see. We really don't have anybody off the lead lap other than Matt Lee, who disconnected. So he got the bad end of that first wreck. Apparently his repair's a little too much to get back out there. So we got 2 laps left on the stage here. So we'll probably see single file going up into about lap 4 or turn 4, and then they're going to start racing. Here comes Garrett to the inside. So Garrett Maines to the inside. He's got Falkingham pushing him. Ethan Eckert's going to go down there to try to pick up that run on the inside. So not looking like they're going to get a lot of energy there. Not really able to make much. So I see Malik up there lurking, ready to go down for that block if he needs to.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean,
goes back up to get back on the high side.
Yeah, there goes the 90. We called it. There goes D3. Daniel Eberhardt with his teammate Dylan Jones. They're going to go right around the 1 of Malik Ray. The 12, Ethan Eckert, going to pick up Malik Ray here. You're watching from the grandstands here as they come through the tribal. White flag out for the stage. It is D3 in front. Man, Garrett Maines, he just keeps hanging out Kyler Wynn tonight. We'll see if that battle, it turns into something as we get later in this race. Daniel Eberhardt, though, right way out front, but a big run's going to come. A surge here from Malik Ray, Ethan Eckert, Kyler Wynn. They're going to go to the bottom. Sitting Ducks is D3 and Dylan Jones to the bottom. There goes Malik Ray. 2x2 down the backstretch. Garrett Maines looking for more. He's going to push Dylan Jones and Daniel Eberhardt the third. Right now, Malik Ray's got, yep, there he goes to the top in front of D3. Here comes Ethan Eckert. A great push from the 82 of Kyler Wynn. Outside turn number 4. It's going to be a drag race here to the finish of this stage. Ooh, almost wrecked out back. Malik Ray going to hold off the 90 of Daniel Eberhardt. Malik Ray, your winner of stage number 1. Malik Ray held off a fierce charge there from the 90 of Daniel Eberhardt. And what a great race to that stage victory here for Malik Ray. I'll tell you what, none of these drivers given an inch here tonight at the front, but they're doing it clean and a really good racing here as we are in for a treat here tonight. If we can keep putting some laps down like that. Obviously, it's not great luck there for Baker when he came into his pit stall. He's going to be finishing right there in the 12th position. But your top 10 right now, Malik Ray, Daniel Eberhardt the third. In second, Ethan Eckert third, Dylan Jones fourth, Kyler Wynn fifth, Daniel Falkingham in sixth, Landon Veliky seventh, Mike Davenport in eighth, Nathan Harper in ninth, and rounding out your top 10 right now, Garrett Maines.
Yeah, and how you called it there is going to be the top 5 for the stage, so that's how it's going to pay. So those are the paying positions, or the pay positions actually Malik, but we get points for the top 5, so that'll be 5 points for Malik, going down to 1 point for Kyler for 5th. So that's what they're racing for there.
Yeah, it was a really good race there. Very clean racing up front. Some very aggressive racing, especially out of the 12 of Ethan Eckert. We'll see how that transpires as we get later into tonight's race. And yeah, here they come down the pit lane to get Sunoco Racing fuel and some Goodyear tires if they want them. Here comes D3 into his box. So yeah, it's we talked about it, what a stage it was, and we're gonna see how these guys, sorry about some of the cameras there, testing a few things out, and this is what we're gonna get right here, the good shot of these guys coming off of pit lane. And there goes Ethan Eckert and some more, and yeah, you could just see all them taking their tires and their service. A good time to do it after the stage here tonight. We want to thank everybody here in the chat. It's popping off here tonight. Lisa W. is saying hi to Baker's mom and saying, looks like Devin needs some gas. Either that or he's waiting for a crash. Tucker McClendon says Baker's mom is hating on Haynes. He loves it. So, yeah, it's a good time here in the chat. Baker's mom, oh, me and Grandma are laughing our butts off. I'm just wondering if someone is there to give him gas. So everyone here in the chat tonight having a good time. So we appreciate you guys, as always, coming in the chat. Also, show your support. If you want to show your support for PGR eSports, you can drop super chats now. So we'd appreciate if you did. Got some super stickers, some super chats, and all those donations will go and support PGR eSports. So drop them here in the chat if you can. You'll see the icon there with the money sign. And we appreciate everyone here tonight as we will step aside really quick, a quick race break here, and we'll be back live here on the PGR eSports Network. Back here live on the PGR eSports Network. You see me here in the booth. I am joined by Ron Morris Jr. tonight as Kyler Wynn, Nathan Harper will bring him to the green flag for the third time here tonight. While we got a moment, we'll talk about a little bit about the PGR Summer Slam, and it'll be the third annual coming up here. We are still looking for dates as of right now. It's tentatively going to be near the end of July as it was last year. Just talking about the car of choice, I believe we're going to be in these next gens at Talladega for the SummerSlam, and we are looking forward to that and the build-up for that race this summer. And, you know, Ron, it was a great event. It really kick-started, you know, that PGR 500 and the lead up to that, you know, by really, you know, putting on the map PGR eSports and all the money racing promotions for that matter, to put on a race like that and to kind of, you know, compound that into what was the PGR 500. You know, I'm really curious to see, you know, we might want to, you know, might be able to get, you know, upwards of 200 drivers this year for that SummerSlam. And, man, that would be a sight to behold there here in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you guys got it kick-started with that SummerSlam. That was a great event. And then, you know, of course, the PGR 500 was second to none. So you guys did a great job with that. But, yeah, I think the Cup cars, you know, that's the top car. That's the one that, you know, that these kind of big events probably should have. So looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. I like to have a big turnout for that. So we'll have to see. Here we go back, getting ready to go back green. Kyler Wynn taking them to the point. Nathan Harper on the outside. So let's see if Nathan can go for 2 in a row.
Yeah, back green here. Kyler Wynn's going to head right up to the top of the racetrack, and he is going to be wanting to get pushed here by that man Nathan Harper. And a guy we've talked about often here in the last month or so, Steven Miles, always has a knack now for getting up to the front, winning races here. You see him in the 24 machine right there, tucked underneath now Kyler Wynn. Nathan Harper in no man's land, but he'll have some help coming up in the 12 of Ethan Eckert. We are 2x2 all the way through here. Ooh, we got some slicing and dicing in the back just a little bit. And Kyler Wynn right now in the best position. And here's the surprise, and a guy that, you know, has been running really well. It's just had some bad luck and not been able to finish a lot of these races. It's the 55, the Tire World PGR eSport machine of Mike Davenport.
Oh, wow. What a save. Like Kenny got into the back of Ethan just a little bit offset, and Ethan lost it, but man, he saved it. And Kenny respectfully let off to let him back up. So that could have been really bad there.
Yeah, just missed that on the broadcast. We have a 3-car breakaway here up front. It's Kyler Wynn, Steven Miles, and Mike Davenport. We were talking about Mike Davenport, and, you know, just, you know, you want to see guys like that, you know, try to be able to close out these races. It's one of the hardest things to do, especially with the big names that we see consistently in RMR, PGR, RMR, the list goes on, SSK. And, you know, right now the Mike Davenports of the world, they seem to really be up front as much as possible. Just can't seem to get the job done as often. But caution is out here for the second time tonight. We'll have to figure out why. We don't see anyone spinning, but it looks like Trevor Ashronoff, Mark Von Dell had some problems there. Jeff Merck went to pit lane to avoid something. So we're going to have to take you back to that yellow flag here. And it looks like, yep, Trevor Ashronoff is going to be involved here.
Yeah, back there with Josh and Chris McCullough. Looks like Josh got in the back of Chris. I'm going to step away and analyze this for a minute. Be back.
Race control duties as well for Ron Morris Jr. here tonight. Here's your replay. Chris is going to go back up here to the 05 of Josh McCullough. He's going to give Chris a nudge. You know, Trev probably wasn't clear. He's going to come down the racetrack in front of the 94 and, you know, just ran out of real estate there. He's going to get hard into the wall. 94 is going to head down the racetrack, getting his teammate Mark Von Dell. So hard hit there for Chris McCullough and Mark Von Dell. They're going to have to come to pit lane and try to get as much damage fixed as possible, as is Ashronoff. It's possible this one's going to go on the 89. The Jack Shack driver, Trevin Ashronoff, will take a look at it one more time here. And here is the 89 of Ashronoff, as he's riding behind his teammate, the 2 of Devin Ray, as he is just above the 94 here. And this is where it gets interesting. You see Chris McCullough kind of back up. Trev thinks he's clear. He's not. And the 94 doesn't want to give him that space, and he's just going to get in the left quarter panel there of the 89. It's going to shove him up the racetrack. And unfortunately for Mark Von Dell, some bad luck for him. Baker avoids it, as does Brock Westmoreland, Josh McCullough, and Jeff Merck. And that'll bring out the third caution of the night, the second natural caution. We had one caution thus far for the stage break, one by Malik Ray. So that will bring out, like we said, the third caution of the night, and we'll go back live here. And I'm sure a lot of these cars took some service for fuel, so we only have 40% fuel here tonight. Kyler Wynn being scored, your leader. Nathan Harper second, Stephen Miles third, Mike Davenport fourth, and rounding out your top five, Wyatt Gray. And while we have a moment, we will take a quick break here on the PGR eSports Network. Back here live, high above Daytona International Speedway. We are 33 laps in of 70 here tonight as we get set to go back green here live on the PGR eSports Network. It is Tuesday Night Thunder. It's season number 6, race number 3. Kyler Wynn in the 82 is going to lead him down here with the 4 of Nathan Harper to his outside. 3 cautions on the night, 2 natural, 1 for the stage, 1 by Malik Ray. Here comes the pace car. It's going to haul on down pit lane here, the 82-4. Going to crank them up here in the restart zone. We're back green racing here at Daytona. Stephen Miles, Mike Davenport, Wyatt Gray going to make up your top 5. Here comes Garrett Maines as well, as we are 2 by 2 here on the restart. And so far, a really good race here tonight. If you're just joining us, one of the best stage finishes you will see, and some very hard racing. And we had a green flag stop earlier, which spread out the field tremendously. We'll see if that happens again with only 40% fuel. We got a lot of guys up here in the chat tonight. Want to say hi to Big Roost and everybody else getting involved and keeping the mojo going here live on the PGR eSports Network. I've been joined by the boss all night long, Ron Morris Jr., and we've been enjoying all the racing we've seen here tonight, 2 by 2 here outside turn number 4.
Yeah, it really has been some amazing racing. That last wreck I had to step away for. It just ended up being a racing incident. 05 got in the back of the 94. 89 was, he was kind of clear, and when he come to go down, it kind of launched Chris forward a little bit, and they got together. So I called it a racing incident. But yes, really, really good racing here tonight. That stage end was amazing. So really good racing. You talking about Davenport earlier, man. I'd like to see Davenport with a good finish here tonight. He's been up here at the front all night, so he's one of those guys that doesn't really have the best luck, like some of us. So yeah, I'd like to see Davenport. I don't want to give him the announcer's curse, but I'd like to see Davenport pull a good one out tonight.
Yeah, we would love to see that. Here's Steven Miles here on the top lane. Top lane right now, the preferred lane. Wyatt Gray in the 18, Davenport, Malik Ray on the bottom, trying to fight, scratch and claw back up here to the front. Right now, the surge is here on the top lane. Daniel Falkingham going to look to the middle, might think better of it, go back on top. And right now, that top lane is prevailing down the backstretch here. We got a couple different packs. Matthew Baker now going to make a move to the middle. Falkingham to the bottom. He's going to lead the surge here along that yellow line. Matthew Baker in the middle, so we are 3 wide. We'll see how this works out. Wow, jockeying for position up front. Harper, a strong block on the 1. They're going to leave Miles out. The 82s controlling the lanes here right now. Kyler Wynn doing a great job of that. I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with Nathan Harper practically every single night. He is in the front, whether it's the trucks, Xfinity, Next Gen. He is very strong right now in that 4 machine. He has to be one of the guys to beat here tonight.
Yeah, Nathan's the real deal, man. You get those that high line was strong, and then you start seeing one move down, and then another, and all of a sudden the high line's gone, and you're down on the low line. So, but you'll see that with these Cup cars, guys will get up there by the wall and ride up there single file. But when a couple of them start to go down, that lane loses all that energy, and then the high line kind of dissipates, and everybody goes to the low line. And that's pretty much what we got now. Single file on the bottom line. We got 2 guys on the outside, and they're just looking for a place to get in. So probably see a little bit of riding here for a minute, and should have pit stops coming up here pretty quickly, pretty soon.
Well, we'll take you through the field here tonight. Kyler Wynn is your leader out front there in the 82. Right behind him, that's going to be Nathan Harper in his Ford. Garrett Maines right now being scored in the 3rd position. Daniel Falkingham, an NASCAR Coke Series professional in that 39 machine, is in 4th. Wyatt Gray riding behind him in the 18. Here comes Landon Velicky right now in the 62, and Ethan Ecker in the 12. Mike Davenport for PGR eSports right now riding around there in the 9th position. Here comes Malik Ray on the top in the 1. He won the stage earlier tonight. Jeff Murr coming back from some damage earlier there in the 60 in the 10th position right now. And Steven Miles is right now in the 13th position. Matthew Baker just in front of him right there in the 5 machine in 10th. Daniel Eberhardt, the 3rd, racing with Dylan Jones here tonight. Those guys are 14th and 15th on the racetrack. Jared Haynes for Team Jack Shack in the 7 machine is being scored in 16th. Job, I'll tell you what, he's just kind of been in this main pack all night, hanging in the back of it, trying to keep that race car clean. In the 760, he's being scored in 17th. Josh McCullough in the 05, he's in the tail end of this main pack right now in 18th. Mark Vondell farther back, he's going to be, he had some damage. He's going to occur from one of the cautions here tonight. He is in 19th. Kenny McCullough Jr. in 20th behind him. Michael Wingo, 21st. Brock Westmoreland in that Train Chevrolet is in 22nd. Trevor Ashford trying to rebound. He is in the 23rd position. Devin Ray in no man's land right now, unfortunately by himself, is being scored in 24th. Chris McCullough off track, so is Matt Lee, and I don't believe John Ward even turned a lap here tonight. We'll head back up to the front. Sorry for the camera work there. It is all Nathan Harper.
Yeah, Chris had got the bad end of that deal, had to disconnect, so he had some damage. But yeah, before you went through that rundown, we saw that surge from Velicky and Ethan up to the front, and then they got in that sucker hole and got moved back. But we got Landon already back up in 2nd place now, pushing Harper around. So, oh man, these cars, they're making some crazy moves out here. They're throwing some haymakers, and I love it. These cars are stable. They're able to drive them. So, we're going to see some great racing here tonight. We already have. Here comes the outside lane. Again, there's Nick Simple pushing Garrett. And, I mean, those 2 cars are able to tandem together and just roll, man. They're just able to fly past there. So, it's a cool aspect. You got to understand these cars. You got to know how they work to really be good in them. And a couple of these guys, they really have these cars. They got them figured out.
We're seeing a little bit different. Sorry, I think I was muted there for a second, so I might have missed a couple of my words. But, we were talking a little bit earlier about, they made a big change in these cars, post PGR 500. And, it rolled over into the NASCAR 500 where they had to kind of drive a whole different machine. And, and then everyone kind of got sick and bored of racing these. So it's good to see them back on the track. And you're seeing these two-car tandems kind of get out to leads. And it's kind of a little bit different than it used to be. Wow, Nick Sipple all the way up to the wall. He is going to save it, man. We've had some awesome saves here tonight, and we've caught just about every one as Daniel Falkingham now to the lead here. And, we were just talking about it. You're seeing some, two-car, three-car breakaways throughout these runs, and that's something we used to see in the old package.
Yeah, Nick Sipple got stuck in the sucker hole there, and he's got an anchor hooked to him going to the back. He'll get back in line there. Really can make some moves really quickly here. I got to step away. I got a request from one of the drivers. I'll be right back.
Ron Morris will step away really quick. Kyler Wynn, Daniel Falkingham to the point here at Daytona. Everyone in the chat getting votes in there right now. Malik Ray, 40%. The field, 40% on who they think will win tonight. 20% on Kyler Wynn. And no one voting for the one machine right there, that Wigan Water Camry of Garrett Mays. I'll tell you what, the guy's got probably more wins than everyone in the Super Speedway money racing community. So don't count out the one, as he is now to the lead here, getting pushed from Ethan Eckert as he's going to go up high and cut off the nose there of Kyler Wynn. 2x2 here down the backstretch. 44 laps in of 70 as action's going to be heating up here as we get closer and closer to green flag stops. And we saw those green flag stops earlier in this race kind of really split up this field. So you're going to have to be on it as on entry and on exit, and hope you don't slide your box. And, that it's really going to come down to those pit stops. If we go green, like I said, it's going to spread out that field. And we have seen some really, really good saves here tonight, and probably going to see a lot more out of these drivers with 26 laps to go. And we are 3 wide, a little bit farther back. And you see right there, look, just a big run from these two up top. And these two-car tandems are just breaking out here in bits and pieces, and it is really working well. So we'll see if anyone tries to do that later on in the race. And, you got to be a little bit careful. You don't want to get out too far ahead too soon, and that big surge of the main pack will eventually catch you. And, yeah, we'll see. Right now we'll ride with the 18. Here is Wyatt Gray, and we'll get a great view for his cockpit and see what he's going to do here on this lap right behind Nathan Harper there in that middle lane. You can just see all the movement of these cars here. Everyone's just trying to pick a lane and take the runs as they come. So good viewpoint here from him. Heath Job sitting farther back in this pack. Heath Job doing an excellent job tonight of staying out of trouble. And there's just like, you see that right? That's a veteran move. You're going to step out to the left side there and just kind of get a good view of what's going on front. When you're directly behind a car ahead of you, can't always see. So Heath Job right now peeking to his left in case there is any commotion up front and he sees any smoke. He will be able to come to a stop or get on the brakes to avoid any of that. So some savvy driving here out of Heath Job here in this 760. Here is Jared Haynes. We'll get that onboard camera up for you. Jared Haynes right now being scored in the 16th position, kind of riding back there with Heath Job, trying to pick his spots, getting ready for those pit stops, and you want to be on the bottom of the racetrack if you can. And we'll see if he can make his way up and through this field. Jeff Merck just ahead of him as he is getting ready for pit stops as well. Jeff Merck riding right behind PGR's Mike Davenport in the 55. Well, so far, all these cars getting ready, closer and closer to those green flag stops. Kyler Wynn, wow, you can see him sawing on the wheel up front, taking some heavy pushes here. Wow, here goes Daniel Eberhard to the lead here on the outside.
We had a few make their stops there. I'm not sure who that was. We had 4 cars make pit stops. But yeah, like you said, you were talking about the 2-car breakaway, man. You get that tandem breakaway, and then it seems to stall, and then everybody just passes by you. So it's something that can work maybe at the end of the race when they come around the last lap. I think a lot of these guys may be testing that just to kind of see how it works. And here we go for green flag pit stops.
Yeah, green flag pit stops. They're all fanning
The
out.
whole
What
field.
a shot that is. Here comes most all the field onto pit lane. It's Kyler Wynn, Falkingham leading them down. Matthew Baker trying to get in his box as well. Oh, wow, what a shot we had of all these drivers, man, coming down pit lane. It doesn't get much better than that, Ron.
Yeah, it looks like everybody got in clean, so let's see if they come out together.
Yeah, Kyler Wynn and Malik Ray out of their box. Here comes Daniel Falkingham. We knew those three would be off first, and here they are. Kyler Wynn will lead them. They're the one, Malik Ray going to get in line, Falkingham in third, and we'll see if this changes things as we saw in the first green flag stop of the night in stage number 1, where you saw this field really spread out. We're going to bring up that track map right now. It's a good time to do so. We'll go through here and we'll see. I mean, Heath Job was kind of at the back of this pack. And oh, wow, Matthew Baker in his pit stall. So not sure what happened to Matthew Baker, but he is in his pit stall. And not good news for the 5 machine. Daniel Eberhardt on pit lane right now. So, yeah, we'll have to catch up with the 5, see what happened. We're back out front. It's a 4-car breakaway now with Wynn, Ray, Falkingham, and Maines. And it's going to be tough to catch those guys.
Yeah, Eberhardt got caught like he hit the cone, but he was not. Yeah, he did not hit the cone, but I think he might have been speeding.
Yeah, tough break there for D3 if he in fact is speeding. Baker, not sure. It looks like he had an issue. He was sitting in his pit stall, so we'll have to get word what happened there. You know, these 4 cars breaking out, but Ethan Eckert going to be farther back. He's going to be leading a contingent of cars here all the way on back to, I believe, it's going to be, wow, it's a big pack here. I mean, Heath Job's off the pack. He's off pace. It's actually going to be all the way back to Jeff Merck. Ethan Eckert in 5th, Jeff Merck in 15th. Right now, that's your pack, trying to catch these front guys. And I'll tell you what, Baker now back out there. He's actually going to bridge this gap here, for these leaves. So there you see Baker kind of in the middle of the 2 packs. So he'll easily bridge Ethan Eckert and company right back up here to the front with 20 laps to go. There you see it's a great shot. Ethan Eckert going to take that draft off Baker. And they're going to keep Baker in that draft at the front. So interesting there that they did not go around him. We still don't know exactly what happened. We'll get word if we can when we have a second. But right now, your leader's getting caught right now by this second pack. You see D3 out there as well. But he had some issues, so he's kind of blending in. So it's going to be a fight for that lucky dog if we get a caution and or not.
Yeah, I think D3 was speeding. He asked me if he hit the cone, but he didn't hit the cone. He was really, really close, but he got a 40-second hold there. So that's what happened to D3. But yeah, after those pit stops now, we see, we got 2 packs now, which is what these green flag pit stops tend to do. So, but that second pack, I think they're coming on pretty strong here. Have to look at the relatives to see. But yeah, they're gaining. They're going to run down this first pack. So 4 cars just doesn't have quite the speed that big pack has.
Yeah, it sure doesn't. As you see these guys here in the tri-oval now, it's the same leaders here up front, all 4 of them, but they are getting caught by Ethan Eckert, pushing Matthew Baker, who's now down a lap. And they are inching ever so closer to the front pack, 18 laps to go, as action will be heating up. I'm almost positive we'll have another stop here this race, Ron, with that 40% fuel. So that could throw another wrench into the plans of all these drivers because, like we stated, every time you see a green flag stop, you're going to lose some drivers, and that front pack's going to shrink, and that is done, again, for the second time here tonight. So we'll see how this all plays out. Kyler Wynn still at the point here with Malik Ray in 2nd, Falkingham 3rd, and Garrett Maines in 4th, and doesn't really get stronger than those 4 right there.
Yeah, we got 18 to go. I think they've been getting about 15, so the interesting thing here to do is going to see if they shortstop it or if they run it out. So or somebody tries to save enough to make it. But yeah, right now we got single file 2 packs, and now it doesn't really look like that second pack's catching the front pack. I'm trying to pull it relatives to see how far back they are. So it looks like they're about 1.5 seconds back. So we'll see if they're able to gain or not. But
Yeah,
just 2 single file packs right now.
here's Landon Velke in the middle of that pack in that War Eagle 62 Chevrolet. He's getting pushed by Nathan Harper, and really nothing they can do right now but stay in line, push, push, push. As you see the 18 of Wyatt Gray trying to do his due diligence here to push the 5 of Matthew Baker, who is a lap down. And Wyatt Gray out of Columbus, Ohio. You'll see him in the PGR Light Series on Monday nights. Tries to go for that championship here and here. Season number 2 starts in a couple weeks, so don't forget that. PGR eSports will continue on Thursday night, March Madness. It will be the Elite 8, man. We are in the Elite 8. Everyone's guaranteed a slice of the pie now, so that'll be at Atlanta, too, in the next gens that you see here tonight. So going to be a very interesting race here in the Elite 8 on Thursday night. But we have some interesting times here tonight for Tuesday Night Thunder. You see this 4-car breakaway right now. I mean, these guys, they have all the experience in the world to try to keep these 4 all ahead of that main pack of Wyatt Gray and company. And it just seems like they can't get there right now, even with this big
They're
surge
losing
of
time.
cars. Yeah, they're losing time, Ron.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, are they trying to save? Maybe either to take a shorter pit stop or maybe even try to make it. So, kind of hard to see now. but this 4-car breakaway is leaving them.
Yeah, it sure is. And, we'll see
2
if
seconds
they,
up now.
we'll see if they try to take a swing at things. I mean, they could always short pit. Oh, here comes the
Pitting.
front leaders. There come down pit lane. And I bet you this group's going to stay out. They do. So here comes your 4 leaders. And they're going to be getting a little bit less fuel. So that should actually help them, taking less fuel by coming a little bit earlier are these leaders. And Wyatt Gray's now going to, Kyler Wynn slid just a little bit. He's going to back up just a tad. He should be okay. But he's going to be the last of these 4 drivers off pit lane. They do not want to lose the 82 because those 4 cars have been really strong, led by Malik Ray. Right. Here is Wyatt Gray, though. We'll see if these guys come in now.
Yeah, they got out a little bit ahead of Kyler, but I think they drug for him a little bit because they know that they're stronger together with 4 of them than if it was just 3 and they lost Kyler. So they are back together now. So
well, here comes everybody else, and Ron, the big thing here is going to be when they blend in. Did they gain time? Did they lose time? Was it neutral? That's really what's going to be the deciding factor in this race if they can get back into it, because we might not have a caution here the rest of the way. And we're going to go back up front. Kyler Wynn did a great job to stay on the back bumpers here of these 3 guys, and I'm sure Garrett Maines pedaled back to him just a little bit. And here they come through the tri-oval. So right now, we're going to see the other guys, they're going to go right around them here all on the apron. And there they hit the end of that pack. And we'll see how they blend in here on the backstretch. But I'll tell you what, I think they gained. I really do think they gained.
I think so too.
I mean, they're at full
looks
speed.
Like 9 of those cars came out, but they're right. So we got 9 cars there, and they're not very organized. So they kind of hurt themselves there on pit stops. So I think they lost a few that they had. And, it's gonna be hard for them to catch this lead pack now. So we got a 4-car breakaway, and we got the rest of the guys praying for a caution.
Yeah, a 4-car breakaway, and if we go green, there's only 1 spot left on the payout positions, and right now that's Wyatt Gray in 6, but he's gonna have a slew of contenders behind him. Ethan Eckert right behind him. I mean, and like you said, Rob, they are just discombobulated back here, and those 4 guys, I mean, professionals, practically on the super speedways. You got professionals in the Coke Series. And they're just doing a really good job with that 4-car tandem right now. And this guy's getting back together just a little bit, but sooner than later, as we tick them down, if they can't get there, they're all going to be racing for that final payout spot, and that could get crazy here.
That's right. Like you said, you got 4 guys, 4 of the top guys in iRacing, period. Not only money racing or super speedway money racing, but there's a reason these guys here have been at the top of their game for a long time. They're good. and they're good at every aspect. Driving the car, making pit stops, making the right calls, everything. So, they made a smart call there, and it's probably going to pay off for them.
Yeah, it really is, and we're just watching that pack, and now we're getting a load here at the 89 of Astronaut 03 of Kenny McCall. They're going to be a little bit farther back. Astronaut in 12th position right now. So all these guys really going to need a caution. They're going to try to bridge with Jared Haynes here in 11th. But going back to this pack here, it's going to be, Wyatt Gray is in 5th, and he is leading that 7-car contingent. Baker, though, not on the lead lap. So that contingent 5th to 10th right now. All the way back there to the white car of Dylan Jones. So, these guys just digging, but, it's going to be a little too late here for them.
Yeah, they're gaining a little bit of time. They were 2.6 seconds back. They're about 2.4 seconds back now. So they did gain 0.2. So I don't know if they'll gain 0.2 every lap, but I don't even think 0.2 a lap will get them where they need to be.
Here's the 90 of D3. He's just going to go to the high side. He's not going to get involved going down a lap here. He'll try to pick up his teammate and try to help him out, get to the front of this second pack. As you see him pull down there behind Dylan Jones. This doesn't have the speed. He's going to come right back on to pit lane is Daniel Everhard. Back up front, it's all Malik Ray. He was your stage winner here tonight. And we'll see if he can sweep the proceedings here on Tuesday Night Thunder. And while we have a second, we'll try to get some info here for weeks to come while we have a minute 9 laps to go here. And the schedule is going to read Trucks at Atlanta next week. So Trucks at Atlanta on March 18th. Xfinity at Talladega to close out March on March 25th. So those are the 2 remaining races here in the month of March. Before we head to the Cup Series, these next gens at Talladega on April the 1st. So long season, it all culminates on July 22nd. With the Cup Series car at Talladega. So we're going all the way close to the end of July, practically right before the PGR, SummerSlam 499. The points as they stand right now is Matthew Baker leading the points with 2 starts, and he has a win. He has, trying to find the points here, can't find them, but Matthew Baker, nonetheless, is in first. Matt Lee, who had a rough night, he'll fall out of that second position. Daniel Falkingham in third. Daniel Falkingham and Malik Ray actually in fourth. Fifth is Nathan Harper. So, Malik Ray, Falkingham right now looking to vault to the top of your point standings. And we'll try to get those to you guys weekly here on the broadcast, which would be a good thing for us to do. But 7 laps to go. It's the same 4 out front. We'll look at Wyatt Gray again as they try to make a run with Ethan Eckert and Nathan Harper. I'll tell you what, they're not doing a bad job. We'll see if they can keep closing this gap just a little bit more.
Well, they're not going to now because they just lost a couple cars. They were yelling for a wreck, but it was only a couple cars, and they were just kind of off the track. So, yeah, I think it's pretty much a done deal now unless we do get a caution.
Yeah, these leaders right now are going to get some drafting help from some lap down cars. They're going to get the pull off of them. And we'll see them go right around them here in just a second. 6 laps to go. Malik Ray going to go up to the middle. He's going to cool the 39's engine of Daniel Falkingham. And a good savvy move there out of the one of Malik Ray.
I've been watching them. They've pretty much been doing that every lap. Malik's been moving up about a half a lane just to keep Daniel cool, These guys understand what they got to do to keep up there, and you'll see them race it out on the last lap, but they're just going to kind of ride right now, and they know they got a top 4 locked up unless something stupid happens, which could happen.
Well, they do, but you got 4 cars right here in front of them, all trying to fight. Some of them for the lead lap. So, I mean, now they're side by side here on the top lane. Look at Kyler Wynn now. He's not connected. I'll tell you what, licking their chops right now is going to be Gray, Eckert, and Harper watching this unfold, possibly behind. We'll have to see if they can get around these cars right now, but they're going to all be racing hard. So, with 5 laps to go, they got to be a little bit careful. They're going to blend in front of Kenny McCullough Jr., get drafting off the 90 of Daniel Eberhard. See Devin Ray, Trevin Ashforoth ahead as well. I mean, Ashforoth is on the lead lap, being scored in 13th, so it's like, he's trying to stay on the lead lap. They're going to race hard. They don't want to let these guys just go around just because they're the leaders. So right now, 3 wide. I mean, anything could still happen here. These 4 leaders are going to try to get around the 89 and the 2 if they can and try to set sail once again with just 4 laps to go. Gray and Eckert now 3.5 seconds back, so I just don't know. I think it's going to be too little too late unless we have a caution.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, right? These guys are welcome to have the drafting help because they can run a little faster. But there's a whole lot more of a chance of something happening with a big pack like this than the 4 cars running together. So, not sure if they're quite welcoming it or not.
Yeah, we're going to have 3 laps to go here. 3 laps to go as we hit the line. Kyler Wynn and Garrett Maines, though, I mean, those guys looking for more. Kyler Wynn's just getting racy with some of these guys behind here. I mean, and maybe he should. He's in 4th. He's got nothing to lose at this point. And he's got to try. He wants to win the race. Kyler wins. So he's looking for, any advantage he can get. Now, you got these guys a lap down all fighting for a lucky dog if there's a caution. And, just like that, they could play a big factor in this race. You still see these 4 here on the top. But we'll see if Kyler Wynn could somehow clear down in front of the 89, you never know what those guys might do to help Kyler Wynn possibly win this race. We're 2x2 now, almost 3 wide. Nope, back to 2x2, coming out with turn 4. 2 laps to go as we hit the line here, Ron. And it's still interesting. Anything could happen here with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, these guys are getting a little nervous now. And Trevor moves up in front of Malik. I know they worked together in the past. Not sure if they're working together now, but they may be communicating. But I know they're getting a little nervous because they had a nice little 4-car breakaway in the safety zone, but now they're kind of out of that little safety bubble now. So these guys in the back are just kind of licking their chops, saying, "Come on, guys, do something stupid. Let us back in the party."
Outside of turn number 4, we're going to take the white flag this time by. The race will be official. Right now, it's Malik Ray, Daniel Falkingham, Garrett Maines, Kyler Wynn, your top 4. You see a bunch of lap down cars right around them. They're going to play a factor in this one. Not sure if they're going to pull over. There goes Falkingham. He's going to go down to the bottom of the racetrack and take the run from the 2 here. So it's all going to come down to these lap down cars from the Jack Shack, the 2 and the 89. And, man, we had this discussion the other night about on the last lap, should these guys just let the leaders race? Right now, they're kind of getting involved. We'll see what happens. Garrett Maines now, we'll see. He's going to stay up top here. And Malik Ray, he's going to go down. It's going to open up the door from, yes, Falkingham pushing Malik Ray. Kyler Wynn now trying to get to the back bumper of Garrett Maines. It's Malik Ray outside turn number 4. There goes Falkingham to the top. He can't block him. It's side by side. Banging doors here to the start-finish line. Daniel Falkingham wins it at the line.
Wow. What a race. What a race. I had no clue that Daniel would be able to pull that with no help up there on the outside, but what a pass on in. That was awesome.
Your 2025 PGR 500 champion is now the champion of race number 3 in Tuesday Night's Thunder, season at number 6, and the Ford 39 machine of Daniel Falkingham just beats Malik Ray to the finish line. An amazing race to the end there on the last lap. And, man, the guy just has an knack to get to victory lane here on the super speedways as Falkingham back in victory lane. Malik Ray in 2nd, Garrett Maines 3rd, Kyler Wynn in 4th, and rounding out your top 5 payout positions, Ethan Eckert. And what a race here by this guy right here. You're going to see him burning them down here in the grass at Daytona. And, man, I'm glad you all stuck around here to watch that one. An excellent win here by Daniel Falkingham. As soon as he's done burning them down, we'll take you back to the replay of that photo finish here between Daniel Falkingham and Malik Ray. And here's coming off turn 4 on, is that's when Falkingham makes his move. Malik goes to block, but Falkingham already had his right rear. They're going to be side by side. Malik's going to, pressure up a little bit all the way to the wall, but Malik's going to do a great job. They did bang. They did door bang, but clean racing there. And Malik's going to go back down, and they're just going to drag race it out. And at that point in time, Falkingham had him beat here coming to the line. And right there is the finish. Garrett Maines just ahead of Kyler Wynn. And those four, I'll tell you what, it's the pit stops that got the job done for them tonight. And for Falkingham, it was the last lap pass there on Malik Ray. Ethan Eckert farther on back here. He is going to finish right in front of Nathan Harper in that payout position. So we're going to try to get a word with your top three here tonight. As Daniel Falkingham is right there celebrating his win here tonight in Season 6, race number 3 of Tuesday Night Thunder. We appreciate, once again, all of you for joining the chat. If you're still here, drop a super chat if you can. We'd love the support here at PGR eSports. We will look for these guys to try to bring them up here in the booth. And I still have Ron Morris, so I will take Garrett Maines here tonight and Malik Ray, and we'll give Ron Morris the captain's job of interviewing the winner here tonight, Daniel Falkingham. And Garrett Maines, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, bud. Well, man, I'll tell you what, it was a heck of a race, and the chalk rose to the top of this one, and we were just talking about it up here in the booth, and it really came down to those green flag pit stops and how well you guys got on and off pit lane, and it ended up being four of you: Falkingham, Malik, yourself, and Kyler Wynn. And how well did you guys execute? Kind of just staying in that 4-car tandem and holding everyone else off.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all we could do there at the end. It's kind of tough, it's basically a 2v2 there at the end for me and Dan versus Kyler and Malik, but you had to kind of time all of your moves there. And with it being so easy to lose the draft, we had to work together until we caught those lap cars. Otherwise, I mean, they would have been on us in a lap or two. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of just in the wrong place. Third was about as good as it was going to get. I had to, do what I could there. I got Dan clear and gave him a shot to win the thing, and obviously he got it done, so congrats to Dan. But, I think that's 2 weeks in a row we've been on the podium, so really can't complain. We'll take what we can get here.
Yeah, sure can. And, it's kind of a hot topic. We had an instance like this a week or two ago in another promotion where you have, some of these lap down cars or cars you just put a lap down who are obviously fighting for the lucky dog, but you get to that white flag lap and they're kind of still playing a factor in the race. What's your take on, these lap down cars kind of, on that last lap, once they do take that white, is it something you think they should kind of, go to the bottom or go to the top and let the leaders race it out, or do you not mind what they're doing there and kind of just sticking with you guys racing?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt like it did impact the race, but at the end of the day, you can only complain so much. I don't feel like there's anything per se wrong with it. It's just, like you said, it does impact the race one way or another, and whether it, you're going to get my opinion if it's, positive or negative impact on my race. So, I don't really know if it really changed it for me too much. I felt like the top was going to roll, and maybe I would have had a chance to clear down had the bottom overheated there, but I mean, we'll never know. Like I said, it's always nice to be able to finish these things out when you have a break like that, and you'll take the points when you can get them like this.
Well, nonetheless, you got a podium once again, and good to see you here not on top, but on that podium here tonight. And you got a big race coming up Thursday night, PGR eSports March Madness Elite 8, and you had some crazy rides so far through the tournament. A couple times actually it looked like you were going to get bounced maybe in round 1, round 2, but yeah, for some reason getting that lucky horseshoe there to just stay ahead of whoever you're racing. But what's it going to take on Thursday? We're going to Atlanta in these next gens just to kind of not have to worry about luck and just kind of stay up front.
Probably qualifying up front, with a little bit of wind playing a factor in pretty much every qualifying session. I feel like there's a little bit of a roll of the dice as to where you start, but it plays a big impact in how these races tend to go. You're at least ahead of the the mayhem to start, and that's a big part of it. So hopefully we'll get a good gust our way, but I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. Like you said, I've been facing the wrong way or upside down pretty much every week, so I don't really know how we've scammed the finishes that we have. But last week was pretty wild to be able to to come back and be up there again. I guess Hennings had a bad night, and that kind of gave me permission to go. So that was nice, just having the stress off, and I knew I could go for it. But yeah, I mean it's going to be an interesting one. I think Atlanta plays into my hand a little bit. It's a little bit more of a I want to say a little bit more of a skill track. So there's at least a driver factor, a little bit more than usual, but it'll be interesting. Hopefully we can get Wigan to victory lane one more time. But it's a whole week of racing for me. You got tonight, obviously. You got RMR tomorrow. You got PGR on Thursday night, and then I'm going to be at VIR for the Specky 30 racing with them on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So going nonstop this week.
Well, Garrett, yeah, big week of racing ahead for you. Hopefully you get some rest in between as well as work for sim seats too. So before we let you go, anyone you want to thank and or shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. Got to give a big thank you to Wigan Water Technologies for all their support this season. They are the reason that I'm getting back out on the track this weekend. So really exciting to be able to start a new season in a new car and run for the championship. So that'll be this Saturday and Sunday. Weather pending for Sunday. It's supposed to storm all day, but hopefully we'll get some good results for them there. Shout out to them. Also, big thank you to Scott at MCU Body for all his support, and Linux.
All right. Well, Garrett, go celebrate your podium finish. We'll see you tomorrow night in RNR.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That was your third place finisher here tonight, and we're going to bring up the man who was the runner-up. That's Malik Ray. Malik Ray, you got a copy.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Oh, man, we're doing good. Some action-packed racing here tonight, but, the cream rose to the top with those green flag stops. And explain to us there, is that – is that what you're looking for? You got 40% fuel here on Tuesday nights, and it seems like if you get to those green flag stops, it plays right in your favor.
Yeah, man, I'd be fiending for them green flag stops, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like if I can get around Dan and Garrett, and me and Kai can line up. I mean, I feel like we're gonna do that every time. So I'm always happy whenever I see it go green.
Well, you won the stage, but unfortunately, did not get the job done to get on top of the podium tonight. Walk us through outside of turn 4. He just got your right rear there. Looks like you were, inching up the track. You guys door banged just a little bit. Did all you can do to try to hold off Falkingham, but, it's just very close finish there. Photo finish just about between you and the 39. Is there anything else you could have done there at the end?
Not really, nah, man. Nah. I'm a clean racer. I gave up my outside. He got to my outside. I'm not gonna put him in the wall like everybody else would have. I mean, he got there. I left it open, and he just beat me to the line. It is what it is. I'm not really too upset about the finish at all.
Yeah, good points night. Good, pay night for you there in the number 1 Inferno Racing Machine, and always good to see you here on the podium. We talked to Garrett Maines a little bit about. We've seen this now in the last couple weeks, couple times where, you got guys, they weren't a lap down. They're racing to stay on the lead lap in case there's a caution. But once you get to the white flag, they're now a lap down, and there's nothing really for them to gain unless, they're your teammate or something. And we asked him the question, hey, does that bother you? Do you think those guys should kind of like move out of the way and let the leaders race on that white flag lap, or do you think it's okay for them to kind of stay where they're at?
I think it's okay to stay where they're at. In that particular instance, I had asked Trevor to come up, so he was just doing like what he was asked. And then like on the white flag, I mean, he could have blocked Garrett going into turn 3, but instead, he just he stayed where he was and he gave Garrett the middle. And I mean, I feel like that's fair. I mean, like he only came up because I asked. If I didn't come up, then he wouldn't have, or if I didn't ask him to come up, he would have never came up. So, in my opinion, I feel like they did what they were supposed to do.
Well, it looks like you guys had some really good communication there on the last lap, but it got a little bit chaotic for you guys. But before we let you go and celebrate that runner-up spot here tonight, anyone you want to thank and or shout out?
Wagner's Welding and Las Vegas Inferno and Pit Viper. I appreciate you guys. And you guys for broadcasting too. And Ron for putting the series on.
Well, we appreciate it here. We'll see you next week, and I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow night in RNR. Malik Ray, he is your runner-up here tonight as we get set to bring in your victor. It's going to be Daniel Falkingham, and we're going to let Ron Morris take this one from here. Daniel Falkingham, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, Daniel, what's up, man? We got you in the booth again. Good run, man. A really good run tonight. Tell us about what you thought about on that last lap, because it was exciting to watch.
Yeah, the last lap, I was trying to figure out how I could play it because, like, I had Garrett behind me where we knew we had Malik and Kyler split up with me and Garrett so it pretty much was, I feel like it was between me and Malik because I know, like, with us with racing the lap cars right there, I felt like I had to just, like, go down and make the move to the bottom and just hopefully everything plays my way because I was not going to win by just standing on the outside with just being buried in the pack. So I had to get down, be the lead car, and hopefully I got the push on the bottom I needed. But then Malik came down, which got our lane rolling because the outside was essentially dead after that. And thankfully, with us me and Malik being hooked up and tandem up, and me getting the shove from Devin to allow us to clear the outside, that allowed me to make my move off 4, and I made it right at the right time. I definitely got squeezed, definitely too close for comfort right there, but thankfully we were clean and respectful coming to line, just banging doors there, and we get the dub. That's how finishes should be, is respectful racing like that. So shout out to Malik for a good finish right there, and shout out to Garrett and Kyler for allowing us to break away from the whole field and let it decide it between ourselves. So that was good fun there.
Yeah, kudos to you guys. It was really good, clean racing. I like to see that. I like to see hard racing, but clean racing. Yeah, I was a little worried that you weren't gonna have enough help from behind, but when you went up there, but you had a good little surge there, man. That was a great move there on the end. We talked to Garrett and Malik about it a little bit, but what'd you think about how kind of lap cars came into play there a little bit? I know you guys had that breakaway with 4 of you that were working really good together, and I know y'all got probably a little nervous when you caught that lap pack. You had a bigger pack with a whole lot better chance of something happening, right?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely gave me more options to figure out what I could have done. I wish we could have had it between ourselves, but I mean, like I said, it really gave me more options to figure out what I could do. Like I said, like when I dropped to the bottom in front of Devin right there, in 1 and 2 on the last lap, to just allow me to be the lead car and hopefully I could get the shove, which allowed me to go on the offense right there, and it put me in the perfect position to do what I needed to do. And I think it would have been better off because like with me and Garrett, it was gonna be like a 2v2 right there. You had me and Garrett, and then you had Malik and Kyler. But thankfully, me and Garrett had Malik and Kyler split up right there. So definitely lap cars brought in another element right there. But I think it gave me the better chance to win if it would have just been me and Garrett, because you never know like what Malik and Kyler can do because like of how well they work together. So
Right.
definitely, I feel like it definitely fell in my favor a little bit. But yeah, of course you never want lap cars, so you never want lap cars to interfere right there. But I mean, we got the win out of it, so I'm not going to complain, certainly.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering how it's going to work out because I know Malik's worked with the Jack Shack guys before, but no, I thought everybody raced respectable. It made it a little more interesting for us to watch and for the fans to watch. So, but man, good win, man. Congrats, and who you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, just shout out you, Ron, for putting this stuff on. Thank you for inviting me to come over and run over here. I have a lot of fun doing this every Tuesday night. Shout out to Triscaro and all y'all putting on the broadcast. Shout out to everyone who comes out and races each and every week. Shout out to Garrett, Baker, Nathan, and Merck as well. And also Matt Lee as well for working with them. Matt got killed on the first lap, and we lost him early in the race. But
yeah.
I'm glad we had everyone else up there to at least competing for it, at least me and Garrett, because we all got split up right there. But yeah, shout out to Malik and Kyler as well for being able to get us to break from the pack and have it decided between ourselves. That was really good. And glad it went green at the end there so we could decide it, because we definitely deserved to fight out for the win right there. And yeah, shout out to everyone watching as well. And yeah, that's all I got.
Cool, man. Well, congrats. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again up here at some point. Hope you have a good night, man.
All right, thanks, Ron. We'll see you next week.
Yep, see ya.
That was your victor here tonight, Daniel Falkingham in the 39 Ford machine, as he gets the job done here in race number 3 of season number 6, Tuesday Night Thunder. You see the results. Final results there on your screen. It's Daniel Falkingham in first, Malik Ray in second, Garrett Maines rounding out your podium in third, Kyler Wynn, fourth place and a cash spot tonight, as well as Ethan Eckert in fifth. Nathan Harper just on the outside looking in, finishes in sixth, Wyatt Gray in seventh, Stephen Miles in eighth, Jared Haynes in ninth, and rounding out your top 10, Josh McCullough.
Nick Sipple finished in the 11th position. Got Dylan Jones 12th. Trevor Ospernoth was a lap down 13th, so we ended up with 12 cars on the lead lap. Kenny McCullough also a lap down in 14th. Matt Baker lap down in 15th. Michael Wingo 16th. We got Mark Vondell finishing 17th. Brock Westmoreland 18th. Mike Davenport 19th. And Devin Ray rounding out the top 20 and 20th. 2 laps down.
Yep, Daniel Leberhard, 2 laps down as well. He finishes in 21st here tonight. Heath Joe, man, he was minding his own business all night long, so bad luck for him. Finishes in 22nd, 2 laps down as well. Landon Veliky, not the night he was looking for Nightmare Esports. He finishes in the 23rd position, 8 laps down. Jeff Merck as well, 16 laps down for him in 24th. Chris McCullough, you'll see him in the Elite 8 on Thursday night. One of the best at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He finishes 25th in 40 laps down. And the biggest guy that the issue early on in that first lap of the race, it's Matt Lee of NBG, finishing 68 laps down in 26th position. So 26 drivers here tonight, only one man on top. That is Daniel Falkingham. Another great drive and an awesome finish here tonight in Tuesday Night Thunder. We'll be back here next Tuesday, and we can look forward to calling the entire season with you guys here on the PGR eSports Network. I was your host here tonight, Michael Triscaro, and always in the booth here this season will be Ron Morris Jr. We appreciate all of you guys here in the chat, everyone watching here tonight at home, and we will see y'all here live on the PGR eSports Network later this week, Thursday night, for the PGR March Madness Elite 8. You can catch all the action live tomorrow on, I believe it's something 9. I forget the broadcast name for RNR. I'll be on race control for that. Looking forward to that series as well. But once again, we appreciate y'all joining us here tonight. And that'll be it here for us in the booth. And we will see y'all soon. Have a good night.